Enrollments are on the rise in many District 5 schools. To accommodate these increases, some schools have eliminated pre-K classes, added temporary classroom trailers, and increased class sizes. What would you do to relieve overcrowding in District 5 schools?
Am I going first this time?
Yes.
Okay. I think that we are going to need to come up with some creative ways to do this. I know from me personally, I mean, my kindergartner was in my middle child, his kindergarten class, there were 26 kids in his kindergarten class. I mean, can you imagine that? So I think that, and one thing that our school did was we brought in student teachers. We brought in student teachers to help alleviate that teacher to student ratio. We could also look at hiring teaching assistants, though oftentimes the more teaching assistants you get, the quality can sometimes go down. But I think that we can also look at pod structures as well for our schools, and this is something we need to consider. I'm so frustrated with HISD for building schools that are not large enough. We've been building schools on these bond programs, and we're about to build Bel Air High School, and it is sized, the new school is sized for a population that Bel Air High School hasn't had, I don't think, in at least 10 years. So we have to be smarter when we're building, and come up with some creative ideas.
Our schools are overcrowded because everybody wants to be here. When we talk about people not going to their neighborhood schools, and we talk about people leaving their neighborhood schools, this is where they're coming. And so we have to address that issue of schools, that neighborhood schools, and people not wanting to be in their own schools. We have to have programs. When we talk about replicating magnet programs, we have the money to do that. But we have to make the school down the street as attractive as the school in Bel Air or West University. We can do that. You know, there are so many negatives about public school right now, but if you talk to the people in the neighborhood schools who are bringing their children to other schools, they want to stay in their neighborhood schools. We have high schools in other parts of town that have 1,000 children transferring out, or over 1,000 children transferring out. This is where they're coming. We have to rebuild our schools.
My solution for overcrowded schools in this part of town would be to build an elementary school, especially our elementary schools. Westview, Roberts, and Twain are all full to capacity and bursting at the seams. There's nowhere else for them to go. All of the Longfellow's full, Shern is full. There's nowhere else for them to go. We need an overflow school with a boundary option and also a magnet option like we did with Pin Oak Middle School a number of years ago, so that the families that are zoned to these overcrowded schools have a choice to go to another school, but it also attracts students from other parts of the district through the magnet program. We're a few years away from having the same kind of problem at the high school level in the community, especially as they try and decrease enrollment at Bel Air High School. And we are not planning ahead for that inevitable situation. And so we're going to need the same kind of option in the future at the high school level in District 5 as well.
So we need a long-term plan to build new campuses based on sound demographic research. I think that's the absolute core of it. In HISD right now, we're so focused on short-termism. We do things that impact the next year, and we scrap everything beyond that. Demographic research, I mean, and we have commission studies, it's just the board and the administration have ignored them. But we need to commission a study, we need to have a board that will follow through with building new schools to support the results of that study. And we need to do it in a time that has those facilities ready for kids when they're going through it, rather than stacking temporary buildings on back for 2 or 3 years while those schools maybe get done on time. It's a huge problem. West University has over 1,200 kids. You could literally split that campus in half, and you would have 2 schools that are the average size of an elementary school in HISD. This has gone on for a very, very long time. It's a difficult problem because now half the parents who send their kids to Westview or to Twain or to Roberts, they don't want to send their kids to another school. So it's going to require a lot of parental input. I'm a big fan of like when you start a new franchise in Chick-fil-A, for example. You train up a staff at that franchise and then you send them to the new one. Let's do the same thing at our schools. Let's train up a new staff at a high-performing school and move them to